Hi guys, it's Jo. I'm just at home, as you can see. I've got one of my little kittens here, as you can see. You gonna say hello? Yeah, he's been a bit shy today, but he does say hello. I just thought I'd go live really briefly to talk about a report that I've just read, and that is basically stating about how letting agents will be more regulated. I'm sure most of you are aware that there's quite a low barrier of entry at the moment, and pretty much anyone can set up as a letting agent, and there's not much in the terms of compliance that they've to get through. All that will change going forward. Just this year, 2019, there was a working group that released a report stating that the sector does need regulating, and they will most likely propose a scheme similar to Rent Smart Wales that's been in place for some time now. And the bottom line of that is that landlords would need, I say licensing, but basically they can outsource that licensing to an agent. And what happened in Wales was a lot of self-managing landlords handed that responsibility over to a letting agent, and they list the letting agent as the licensed person. So that obviously is really good way for letting agents to get business too. I think it's a plus side, not a downside, that the letting agent then needs to be more compliant because they've got a lot of responsibilities. So a couple of things that we do at Invest Leads to make sure we're compliant. One is that we're using a system called Landlords, which a lot of you will have come across or heard about, and that sets up our tenancy agreements, and it does the referencing and the credit checks and so on. It's GDPR compliant. And it moves on to the next stage, and it will only move on once the action has been done. For example, I've got a kitten biting my toes now. But basically, when the tenancy agreement's signed, it then sends a copy of the prescribed information and things like that, and it timestamps when everything's done, so you've got a record of that. So that's been really good for us. It's kind of outsourcing it a little bit as well. It takes less time and it means we're more compliant. So that's really good. And number two is I personally and somebody else who works with me are undertaking property mark training, and that will then mean that we're accredited and we're up to date with all the latest information. So I do think qualifications should be a little bit more needed. It would be good if more people had done this kind of studying. I do agree that experience means more often than a qualification, but I've personally experienced a letting agent manage one of my properties quite badly, and he had no knowledge at all of the sector, and it's things like that that I think should be outlawed. And by putting standards in place, it's improving the sector and professionalising it a little bit too. I've got a few more ideas that I'm going to go live about this week. The other areas of legislation like Section 21, Section 8, GDPR, I've just wrote a list actually and I can't remember, but all different things. There's a lot more to it. There are going to be more money laundering responsibilities for letting agents come January, so I'll do a quick chat about them another day. And thanks for watching. If you've any questions or anything like that, just give me a shout and I will do my best to answer.